There is a specific rhythm to a train. It's a heartbeat of steel and friction. Clack, 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 clack. It's a sound that lulls you into a trance, a mechanical lullaby for the weary and the broken. I sit here every morning, the 8:04 from Ashbury to Euston, pressing my forehead against the cold, greasy glass, watching the world slide backward. It's a movie reel of other people's lives, playing out in snippets of backyards, Victorian terraces, and clotheslines heavy with laundry. They are so close, these lives. I can see the mugs on their patio tables. I can see the flicker of their televisions. I can almost smell the toast burning in their kitchens. But I am separated from them by a sheet of glass and a lifetime of mistakes. I am a ghost in this carriage. To the other commuters, I am just a woman in a trench coat, nursing a travel mug of coffee that grew cold an hour ago. They don't know that the coffee is gone, replaced by a mixture of warm Chenin Blanc and shame. They don't know that I don't have a job to go to anymore. They don't know that I ride this train simply because I have nowhere else to be, and because the motion, the forward momentum, is the only thing that convinces me I am still alive. We stop at the signal. We always stop at the signal. It's a red light that hangs over a row of Victorian houses. There are gardens backing right up to the track. I know these houses better than I know my own empty flat. I know the rust on the swing set at number 12. I know the cat that sleeps on the wall at number 14. But it's number 15 that I watch. It's number 15 that keeps me breathing. I call them Jess and Jason. I don't know their real names. I don't want to know. Real names come with real problems, mortgages, argument about whose turn it is to empty the dishwasher, affairs, boredom. But Jess and Jason, they are perfect. They are the golden couple. Jess is tiny, bird-like, with hair cut short and a smile that looks like it could power a small city. Jason is tall, broad-shouldered, the kind of man who looks like he smells of wood smoke and expensive cologne. Every morning, I see them. Sometimes they're on the terrace, drinking coffee. Sometimes Jason has his hand on the back of Jess's neck, a gesture so intimate, so possessive and tender, that I have to look away because it burns. It burns with the memory of when I was touched like that, when I was loved. They're everything I lost. They're the life I wrecked. I imagine their conversations. I imagine they talk about art or poetry or where to go for dinner in Paris. I imagine they never fight. I imagine their house smells of fresh linen and joy. They are my anchors. As long as Jess and Jason are okay, as long as they are sipping their coffee in the morning sun, then maybe the world isn't completely broken. Maybe love is still possible, even if not for me. But you can't watch the world through a window forever without seeing something you wish you hadn't. It was Friday. The train was hot, smelling of damp wool and body odor. I was sweating, the gin sitting heavy and sour in my stomach. The signal turned red. The train screeched to a halt. I wiped the condensation from the glass and looked out at number 15. My heart stopped. Jess was there, but Jason wasn't. There was another man. He was standing close to her. Too close. He wasn't Jason. He had dark hair, shorter, and he was wearing a reddish shirt. They were standing by the French doors. And then he kissed her. It wasn't a friendly peck. It was a hungry, desperate kiss. And she didn't push him away. She leaned into him. She wrapped her arms around his neck. I felt a physical blow in my chest, as if someone had punched me. I gasped, loud enough that the businessman next to me glanced over his newspaper with a look of mild disgust. I wanted to scream at the window. "Stop it. What are you doing? You are Jess and Jason. You are the perfect couple. You don't do this." It shattered everything. The illusion cracked like a mirror dropped on concrete. Jess wasn't perfect. She was a liar. She was a cheat. She was just like everyone else. Just like me. Just like Tom. Tom, my ex-husband. The man who lives just a few houses down the track. At number 23, with his new wife, Anna, and their new baby. The baby I couldn't give him. The baby that broke us. I can't look at number 23. It hurts too much. So I focus on number 15. I poured all my hope into them. And now Jess was destroying it. I spent the rest of the weekend in a haze. I drank until the world softened at the edges, until the sharp, jagged pieces of my reality dulled into a manageable throb. I drank to forget the look on Jess's face, that look of surrender. I drank to forget the feeling of Tom's hand on my neck, which I would never feel again. Saturday night is a black hole. I remember starting with a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc in my apartment. I remember the feeling of righteous anger building in my gut. I remember thinking that I needed to do something. I needed to tell someone. I needed to fix it. And then nothing. I woke up Sunday morning in my bed. My head felt like it had been split open with an axe. The light coming through the curtains was blinding, accusatory. I rolled over and groaned, the nausea rolling through me in waves. I tried to sit up, and that's when I felt the pain. My legs were bruised, scratched. There was dried mud on my jeans, which were thrown on the floor. I looked at my hands. There was blood under my fingernails. Not a lot, just a dark, rusty crescent under the rim of the nail. I ran to the bathroom and vomited. I stared at myself in the mirror. My eyes were bloodshot, surrounded by dark circles that looked like bruises. There was a cut on my forehead near my hairline, caked with dried blood. What did I do? The panic started then. A cold, slithering snake in my belly. I checked my phone. No calls, no texts. But when I opened my call log, my stomach dropped. Tom. I had called him 5 times last night, between 10 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. Did he answer? Did I leave voicemails? I didn't know. The blackout was total. It was a wall of static. I tried to piece it together. I remember getting on the train. I remember going to Whitney. I wanted to see Tom. No, I wanted to see Jess. I wanted to scream at her. I wanted to tell Jason. I remembered getting off the train at the station near their houses. I remembered the cool air. I remembered walking toward the underpass. And then a flash, a scream, a push. I couldn't grab the memory. It was like trying to hold smoke. I spent Sunday in bed, terrified. I waited for the police to knock on my door. I waited for Tom to call and scream at me for harassing his family again, but the phone stayed silent. It wasn't until Monday morning, back on the 804, back in my seat with my travel mug of coffee, that the world ended. The train stopped at the signal. I couldn't help it. I looked at number 15. The terrace was empty. The curtains were drawn. It looked abandoned. I opened the newspaper someone had left on the seat opposite me. I scanned the headlines, looking for something to distract me from the pounding in my head. And there it was, page 3, a small photo, missing woman, police appeal for information. I stared at the photo. It was Jess. Only her name wasn't Jess. It was Megan Hipwell. Megan Hipwell, 29, was reported missing by her husband, Scott Hipwell, on Sunday morning. She was last seen on Saturday night. Megan, her name was Megan, and she was gone. The blood under my fingernails seemed to burn. The cut on my forehead throbbed. I had been there. I was in Whitney on Saturday night. I was drunk. I was angry. And now the woman I've been watching, the woman I saw cheating, the woman who ruined my fantasy, was missing. And I had absolutely no idea if I had anything to do with it. Fear is a cold liquid. It fills you up from the toes, rising until you are drowning in it. Even as you sit perfectly still, I sat on that train, staring at the grainy black and white photo of Jess, Megan, and I felt the liquid fill my lungs. Megan Hipwell. The name tasted foreign wrong. She belonged to me as Jess. She was my creation. And now the real world had snatched her back, turning her into a headline and statistic. I looked around the carriage. Did they know? Could they smell the guilt on me, mixing with the stale alcohol? The businessman was typing on his BlackBerry. A student was listening to music, nodding her head. They were oblivious. They didn't know that a monster might be sitting in their midst, a monster who couldn't remember if she had claws. I needed to know more. I needed to fill the black hole of Saturday night. I got off at Houston and walked. I didn't go to the library where I pretend to work. I went to an internet cafe. I sat in a booth that smelled of cleaning fluid and desperation, and I Googled her. Megan Hipwell. Missing. Whitney. The articles were sparse. Police are concerned for her welfare. Husband is distraught. Husband. Scott Hipwell. That was Jason. My Jason. The man I had paired her with in my mind. The man who held her neck with such tenderness. I looked at a picture of him. He looked shattered. His eyes were red-rimmed. His jaw set in a line of grim determination. He didn't know. He didn't know about the man in the reddish shirt. He didn't know his perfect wife was a liar. And suddenly, a new feeling surged through the fear. Purpose. I knew something. I was the only one who knew about the other man. I had seen them on Friday. I had seen the kiss. The police would be looking at Scott. The husband is always the first suspect. They would think they had a domestic dispute. They would tear his life apart. But he was innocent. I knew he was innocent because I saw the betrayal happening to him. I could help him. The thought was intoxicating. For 2 years, since Tom left me, since I lost my job, since I spiraled into the bottle, I have been useless. I have been a burden, a pathetic, barren, drunk ex-wife. But now I held the key. I held a piece of the puzzle that could save Jason, Scott. But to help him, I would have to admit I was there. I would have to admit I was watching. I would have to admit I was a drunk who blacked out. Could I do that? I scrolled through more photos. Megan smiling. Megan at a gallery opening. Megan looking ethereal and beautiful and flawed. Saturday night. I closed my eyes and tried to force the memory. I squeezed my temples until it hurt. Darkness. The sound of a train passing overhead. The smell of damp concrete. The underpass. The underpass near the station. It's a shortcut to the houses on Whitney Road. I saw a flash of blue. A dress? No, a neon sign. And then a face. Anna, Tom's wife. Why did I see Anna? Was she there? Or was I imagining her? Because she is always on my mind. Go away, Anna. I pushed the image aside. I focused on Megan. Did I see Megan? I saw a struggle? No, I saw someone running. Or maybe I was running. My heart hammered. The anxiety was a physical weight on my chest. I needed a drink. Just one. To steady the nerves. To clarify the thoughts. I left the internet cafe and found a liquor store. I bought a small bottle of gin and a can of tonic. I went to a park bench and mixed them in my travel mug. The first sip was a relief, a warm blanket wrapping around my shivering nerves. I have to tell the police. If I didn't tell them about the man in the reddish shirt and Scott went to prison, it would be my fault. Another thing I ruined, but the police wouldn't listen to me. I'm Rachel Watson, the drunk, the stalker. They know me. They've scraped me off the pavement in front of Tom's house before. They have my file. Nuisance. Unstable. If I walked in there and said, I saw a man kissing her from a train window, they would laugh. Or they would lock me up. No, I couldn't go to the police. Not yet. I had to go to Scott. It was a mad idea, a dangerous idea, but the gin made it seem heroic. I would go to him. I would tell him what I saw. I would give him the ammunition to defend himself. I would be his savior. I finished the drink. I threw the can in the bin. I stood up, swaying slightly, and walked back to the station. I wasn't going to London. I was going to Whitney. The train ride back felt different. I wasn't just a voyeur anymore. I was a participant. I was stepping through the glass. I got off at Whitney Station. The town looked the same as it always did. Quiet, suburban, manicured, but the air felt charged. People were looking at each other differently. There was a police van parked near the station entrance. I pulled my coat tighter and walked. I knew the way. I had walked it 100 times in my head and a dozen times in my blackouts. Whitney Road. I passed number 23. Tom's house. My old house. I didn't look. I refused to look. I kept walking until I reached number 15. There was police tape across the driveway. A uniformed officer stood by the door. I couldn't just walk up and knock. I stood across the street, hidden behind a large oak tree. I watched. I saw movement in the window. A man pacing. Scott. He looked like a caged animal. He was holding a phone, gesticulating wildly. He's desperate, I thought. He needs to know. But how? I couldn't get past the cop. I waited. I waited for an hour. My legs ached. My thirst returned. Then a car pulled up. A detective got out. A woman. She looked sharp, no nonsense. She spoke to the uniformed officer and went inside. The door opened, and for a second, I saw into the hallway. I saw a mirror. I saw a coat rack. It looked so normal. It looked like a home. And then the door closed, sealing the nightmare back inside. I turned to leave. I needed to rethink. I needed a way to contact him without the police knowing. As I turned, I bumped into someone. "Watch it!" A voice snapped. I looked up. It was a man. He was walking a dog. He stopped. He looked at me. His eyes widened. "You," he said. I froze. "Excuse me?" "You were here," he said. "Saturday night." My blood ran cold. No, I wasn't." "Yes, you were," the man insisted. He pointed a finger at me. "I saw you, down by the underpass. You were stumbling all over the place. You were shouting." You're mistaken." "I never forget a face," he said. "You were shouting at a blonde woman." A blonde woman. Megan was blonde. What was I saying? I whispered. "Couldn't hear." The man shrugged. "But you looked like you wanted to kill her." He pulled his dog and walked away. I stood there, rooted to the spot. "You looked like you wanted to kill her." Did I see Megan? Did I confront her? Why would I shout at her? Because she ruined the fantasy? Because she cheated on Jason? Or was the blonde woman Anna? Anna is blonde. I stumbled back to the station. My mind was a kaleidoscope of broken images. The underpass, the blonde hair, the rage. I needed to remember. I had to remember. Because if I hurt Megan Hipple, if I killed the woman I admired from afar, then there was no redemption for me. There was only the abyss. I got back on the train. I took out my notebook. I started to write. I wrote down everything I knew. Friday, saw Megan kissing man in reddish shirt. Saturday, drunk, blackout, woke up with blood. Witness, man with dog saw me shouting at blonde woman. I looked at the words. They were damning, but there was still the other man. The lover. If I could find him, maybe I could prove it wasn't me. Maybe he hurt her. Maybe she tried to break it off, and he snapped. I had to find him. I closed my notebook. I wasn't just a drunk anymore. I was an investigator. I was the girl on the train, and I had seen something I shouldn't have. The police came for me on Tuesday evening. I was in my flat, a rented box in Ashbury that smells of damp plaster and loneliness. I was trying to eat a piece of toast, my hands trembling so much I could barely hold it. I had spent the day scouring the internet for clues about Megan Hipple, trying to find a face that matched the man in the reddish shirt. I was deep in a forum about local missing persons when the buzzer rang. It wasn't a tentative buzz. It was a long, insistent drone. I knew who it was before I pressed the intercom. Rachel Watson? A voice distorted by the speaker. Yes. Detective Inspector Gaskell. Can we come up? I buzzed them in. I looked around the flat. Empty wine bottles on the counter. A pile of dirty laundry on the chair. It looked like the home of a woman who was falling apart. I kicked the laundry under the table and threw a tea towel over the bottles. It was a futile gesture. They would smell it on me anyway. They came in. Gaskell was a heavy-set man with a face that looked like it had settled into a permanent expression of weary patience. Beside him was a woman I had seen at Scott's house, Detective Sergeant Riley. She was younger, sharper, with eyes that scanned the room like lasers, cataloging every failure. Ms. Watson, Gaskell said, we understand you were in Whitney on Saturday night. I sat down on the edge of the sofa. I didn't offer them a seat. I might have been. You might have been? Riley asked. Her voice was cool, clipped. Tom Watson called us. He said you were seen in the area. Tom, of course. I used to live there, I said defensively. I go back sometimes. To harass your ex-husband? Riley asked. It wasn't a question. It was an accusation. No, I just missed the area. We have report of a woman matching your description acting erratically near the station on Saturday night. Gaskell said, drunk, shouting. I looked at my hands. I had a few drinks. I was upset. About what? Life. I muttered. Did you know Megan Hipple? Gaskell asked. Here it was. The lie. Or the truth. I knew of her. I said carefully. I saw her. From the train. They exchanged a look. From the train? I take the commute every day. I see things. I saw her on her terrace. She lived a few doors down from Tom. And that's the extent of your relationship? Riley asked. You watched her from a train? Yes. So why were you shouting at a blonde woman in the underpass? My heart slammed against my ribs. They knew. I don't remember that. I said, I blacked out. You blacked out, Riley repeated flatly. Convenient. It's the truth. I have a problem. I drink. I lose time. But I wouldn't hurt anyone. Rachel, Gaskell said, stepping closer. His voice was softer, almost fatherly, which made it worse. It felt like a trap. Megan Hipple is missing. We found signs of a struggle. We are looking for anyone who saw anything. If you were there, if you saw her, you need to tell us. I didn't see her. I cried. I don't think I did. I thought I was shouting at Anna, Tom's wife. Anna Watson says she was home all night, Riley said. She didn't see you. Then maybe I was shouting at a ghost. I snapped. I don't know, but listen to me. I saw something else. On Friday. Gaskell paused. Friday? Yes. From the train. I saw Megan. She was with a man, not her husband. Riley raised an eyebrow. A man? Yes. Dark hair, reddish shirt. They were kissing. She was having an affair. Silence stretched in the room. Are you sure about this, Rachel? Gaskell asked. Or is this another thing you saw in a blackout? I was sober on Friday. I insisted. It was morning. I saw them clearly. She was cheating on Scott. You have to look into it. Maybe the boyfriend did something. Maybe she tried to leave him. Riley wrote something in her notebook. She didn't look impressed. We'll look into it. But Rachel, let's be honest. You're an alcoholic who stalks her ex-husband. You were in the area the night a woman went missing. You have no alibi. You admit to being violent when drunk. I never said I was violent. Tom says you tried to hit him with a golf club once, Riley said. I flinched. That was true, but that was different. That was the end of the marriage. The pain. I didn't kill Megan. I whispered. I admired her. I thought she was perfect. Nobody is perfect, Gaskell said heavily. He handed me a card. If you remember anything else, anything real, call us. And stay away from Whitney. If Tom calls us again, we will arrest you for harassment. They left. I sat in the silence of my flat, shaking. They didn't believe me. They thought I was a pathetic drunk making up stories to insert myself into the drama. But I knew what I saw. The man in the reddish shirt existed. I had to prove it. I couldn't rely on the police. I had to go to the source. I had to talk to Scott Hipwell. It took me 2 days to work up the courage. 2 days of pacing, drinking water, trying to stay sober enough to function. I found his email address online. He worked in IT. It wasn't hard. I wrote him a message. Dear Scott, you don't know me, but I take the train past your house every day. I know this sounds strange, but I think I have information about Megan. I saw something on Friday. Please meet me. Rachel. He replied within 10 minutes. Come to the house. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. The next morning, I shaved my legs. I put on makeup. I wore my best blouse. I didn't want to look like the drunk from the train. I wanted to look like a credible witness. I took the train to Whitney. I walked past the police tape, which was still fluttering in the breeze. I rang the bell at number 15. Scott opened the door. He looked worse than in the photos. He hadn't shaved. His eyes were hollow, dark pits of exhaustion. He looked like a man who was holding on to reality by his fingernails. Rachel, he asked. Yes. Hi. Come in. I stepped into the house. It smelled of stale air and coffee. It was the house I had fantasized about for a year, but it felt cold, empty. We went into the living room. The famous terrace was visible through the glass doors. It looked gray and uninviting. You said you saw something. Scott said, not offer me a seat. He was vibrating with tension. I did. I said, clutching my bag. I ride the train. I see you guys on the terrace. You looked happy. He flinched. We were happy. I saw Megan on Friday morning. I said, she was out there, on the terrace. Okay. She wasn't alone, Scott. He went very still. What do you mean? There was a man with her. A neighbor? A delivery guy? No, I said softly. It looked intimate. He kissed her, Scott, and she kissed him back. Scott stared at me. His face went through a kaleidoscope of emotions, confusion, denial, and then rage. You're lying, he whispered. I'm not. I swear. He had dark hair, a reddish shirt. Who was he? I don't know, but I thought if the police think you hurt her, maybe they need to know about him. Maybe he's the reason she's gone. Scott turned away. He walked to the window. He put his hands on his head. She was having an affair? It looked like it. He let out a sound that was half laugh, half sob. God damn it, Megan. He turned back to me. His eyes were wild. Why are you telling me this? Why not the police? I told them. I said. They didn't listen. They don't think I'm reliable. Why not? Because I drink, I admitted, and because I was here Saturday night, drunk. Scott narrowed his eyes. You were here. I was walking. I blacked out, but I wanted to help you. I wanted you to know the truth. He stepped closer to me. He was big, intimidating. You saw her cheating on me, and you decided to come here and tell me? Are you getting off on this? No, I wanted to help. Get out, he said. Scott, please. Get out, he roared. I scrambled back. I ran for the door. Wait, he said. I stopped, hand on the doorknob. Dark hair, he asked. His voice was trembling. Red shirt. Yes. He looked at the floor. I think I know who it is. I held my breath. Oh, her therapist, Scott said. Dr. Kamal Abdick. The therapist. Of course. He's been calling, Scott muttered, asking about her, acting concerned. I thought he was just being professional, but she told me he was a good listener. She spent a lot of time with him. Where's his office? I asked. Here, in town. He practices out of his house. You should tell the police. I said. I will, Scott said. He looked at me, and the anger was gone, replaced by a terrible, crushing sadness. Thank you, Rachel. Now please go. I left the house. I walked back to the station. I felt a strange buzzing in my veins. It wasn't alcohol. It was adrenaline. I had a name. Kamal Abdick. The police dismissed me. Scott was broken. It was up to me. I was going to find Dr. Abdick. I was going to look him in the eye. And I was going to find out what he did to Megan. But as I sat on the train, watching the houses blur past, a dark thought crept into my mind. If Megan was seeing a therapist, she was unhappy. The perfect life was a lie. And if I could be wrong about their happiness, what else was I wrong about? What if the blonde woman I shouted at wasn't Anna? What if it was Megan? What if I saw her with Abdick? What if I confronted her? What if I was the one who snapped? I looked at my hands. The blood was gone, scrubbed away, but the memory of it remained. I closed my eyes, and the rhythm of the train took over. Clack, 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 killer, killer, killer. I found Kamal Abdick's address easily enough. It was online, listed under holistic therapy. A nice house, detached, with a gravel driveway and high hedges. Privacy, perfect for secrets. I didn't go straight there. I needed a plan. I couldn't just knock on the door and ask, "Did you kill your patient?" I needed to be clever. I needed to be someone else. I went to a thrift store in Ashbury. I bought a scarf, a pair of glasses I didn't need, and a notebook that looked professional. I tied my hair back. I looked in the mirror. I didn't look like Rachel the drunk. I looked like Rachel the patient. I called his number, Dr. Abdick's office, a receptionist, or maybe an answering service. "Hi," I said, putting on my most stable middle-class voice. "I'd like to book an appointment. I'm having anxiety, panic attacks. Dr. Abdick has an opening this afternoon at 2 p.m., a cancellation. A cancellation. Probably Megan's slot." "I'll take it," I said. I took the train back to Whitney. I felt like a spy. I felt alive. At 1:55 p.m., I walked up the gravel driveway. The house was quiet, peaceful. I rang the bell. The door opened. It was him, the man from the terrace. Dark hair, olive skin, handsome in a brooding, intelligent way. He was wearing a gray sweater, but I could picture him in the reddish shirt. "MS Watson?" he asked. I had used my real name. It was a risk, but using a fake name felt too dangerous if the police got involved later. "Yes, Rachel, please come in." His voice was like warm honey, soothing, hypnotic. I could see why Megan liked him. I could see how a woman could fall for that voice, spill her secrets to it, and maybe more. He led me into a room at the back of the house. It was beautiful, floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, a Persian rug, 2 comfortable armchairs facing a large window that looked out onto a secluded garden. "Sit," he said. I sat. The chair was soft. It felt like a trap. "You said on the phone you were experiencing panic attacks," he said, sitting opposite me. He crossed his legs, holding a notepad. "Tell me about them." I looked at him. I tried to find the killer in his face. I tried to see the man who would grab a woman and kiss her on a terrace. "I feel trapped," I said. It wasn't a lie. "I feel like I'm watching my life from the outside, like I'm on a train, looking through a window and I can't get off." He nodded. He wrote something down. "Dissociation. It's a common defense mechanism. What are you defending yourself against, Rachel? Guilt, I blurted out. Guilt about what? Mistakes. Things I can't remember. He leaned forward. His eyes were dark, intense. Memory is a tricky thing. We often edit our memories to protect ourselves, or we fill in the blanks with what we fear most. What we fear most. I feared I was a killer. So was I filling in the blanks with blood? Did you know Mega Hipple? I asked. The change in the room was instant. The temperature dropped. His hand froze on the notepad. He looked at me, and the therapist's mask slipped. Just for a fraction of a second, I saw fear. Megan, he said, why do you ask? I saw her picture in the paper. She's missing. Yes, it's a tragedy. He put the pen down. Did you know her? No, but I live nearby. I heard she was a patient of yours. I cannot discuss my patients, Rachel. Confidentiality. But she's missing. I pressed. If she was unhappy, if she was in trouble, wouldn't you want to help? He stared at me. He was analyzing me now, not as a patient, but as a threat. Are you a journalist? He asked. No. Then why are you here? You didn't come for therapy, did you? I stood up. My cover was blown. I wasn't good at this. I was shaking. I saw you, I said, on Friday, on her terrace. I saw you kissing her. He stood up too. He was tall. I think you should leave. Did you kill her? I asked. My voice rose. Did she threaten to tell your board? Did she threaten to tell Scott? Get out, he said. His voice was low, dangerous. She was pregnant. I lied. I didn't know if she was, but it was a good guess. Was it yours? I said, get out. He moved towards me. I backed away. I'm going to the police. I'm going to tell them about the affair. There was no affair, he shouted. She was my patient. She was transference. She was confused. You kissed her. She kissed me. I pushed her away. Liar. I ran for the door. I fumbled with the latch. Rachel, he called after me. Wait. I didn't wait. I burst out into the driveway and ran. I ran all the way to the main road. My heart was pounding. She kissed me. I pushed her away. It sounded plausible. Transference. Patients falling in love with their therapists. It happens, but I saw the embrace. It looked mutual. And his reaction, he was terrified. I had rattled him. I walked to a pub near the station. I needed a drink. I ordered a large gin and tonic. I drank it in 3 gulps. I felt better, braver. I took out my phone. I had to call Scott. I had to tell him I confronted Abdick. But as I pulled up his number, I saw a text from an unknown number. I know what you did. I stared at the screen. The pub noise faded into a dull roar. I know what you did. Who was this? Was it Tom? Was it the police? Or was it the killer? I typed back. Who is this? 3 dots appeared. You should have stayed on the train. My phone slipped from my sweaty fingers and clattered onto the table. Someone was watching me. Someone knew. I looked around the pub. Faces. Strangers. A man at the bar. A woman with a pram. Anyone could be the enemy. I grabbed my phone and ran out. I needed to get home. I needed to be safe. I got on the next train to London. I sat in the corner, knees pulled up to my chest. The train started to move. Clack, 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 clack. We passed the houses. Number 23, number 15, and then the underpass. The train slowed down. I looked out the window, and I saw something, a flash of memory, sparked by the fear, sparked by the gin. Saturday night, I was in the underpass. I was shouting, but not at Megan. I was shouting at a man who was getting into a car parked near the woods. And in the passenger seat of that car was a woman. She wasn't moving. I pressed my face against the glass. The memory sharpened. The man turned to look at me. It wasn't Scott. It wasn't Abdick. It was Tom, my ex-husband. Why was Tom in the underpass with an unconscious woman? The train sped up. The image vanished. I sat back, gasping for air. Tom knew Megan. He lived a few doors down. He walked the dog past her house. Did Tom have an affair with her? Is that why he hates me coming around? Is that why he called the police on me so quickly? Not to protect Anna, but to protect himself. I thought about Tom, the way he could be charming, the way he could lie. He lied to me for years about Anna. He made me think I was crazy. He made me think I was a problem. Gaslighting. He was a master at it. If Tom was with Megan, then I wasn't just a witness. I was a perfect scapegoat, the drunk ex-wife, the stalker. If Megan turned up dead and I was in the area, Tom could pin it on me. I felt a surge of nausea. I had to be wrong. It was a drunk memory. It was unreliable, but the text message, "You should have stayed on the train." That wasn't Scott. That wasn't Abdick. That sounded like Tom. That sounded like the way he used to talk to me when I messed up. Condescending, controlling. I needed to find out the truth about Tom, but I couldn't ask him. He would twist it. I had to ask Anna, the other woman, the enemy. If Tom was cheating on her too, she might be my only ally, or she might be the one who sent the text. I got off at Ashbury. I didn't go home. I bought another bottle of wine from the corner shop, Liquid Courage. I was going to go back to Whitney tonight. I was going to knock on number 23, and I was going to ask Anna what her husband was doing on Saturday night, because if Tom hurt Megan, then Anna was next, and maybe, just maybe, I wasn't the villain of this story after all. The bottle of wine sat heavy in my bag, clinking against my keys like a warning bell. I was going to confront Anna. Anna, the woman who stole my life. Anna, the woman who was living in my house, sleeping in my bed, raising the child I couldn't have. It was madness. It was suicide. But the text message burned in my mind. "You should have stayed on the train." It sounded like Tom. It sounded like the way he used to dismiss me when I asked too many questions about his late nights at work. "You're imagining things, Rachel. You're drunk, Rachel. Go to bed, Rachel." I took the last train back to Whitney. The carriage was empty, just me and the reflection of a desperate woman in glass. I got off at the station and walked the familiar path to number 23. The streetlights buzzed overhead, casting long, skeletal shadows. I reached the house. The lights were on downstairs. I could see movement in the living room. I didn't go to the front door. Tom would answer. Tom would call the police. I went around the back, through the garden gate that always stuck in the summer. It creaked, a sound that made my heart hammer against my ribs. I crept up to the French doors. I saw them. Tom was sitting on the sofa, a glass of scotch in his hand. He looked angry. He was gesturing, his mouth moving fast. Anna was standing by the fireplace, holding their baby. She looked terrified. I pressed my ear against the glass. "Can't keep doing this, Tom." Anna's voice was muffled but shrill. She was here again. I saw her. "Who?" Tom asked, though he sounded bored. "Rachel." She was at the station. She was talking to Scott Hippold. Tom stood up. "So? Let her talk. Nobody listens to a drunk. But what if she saw something? What if she remembers?" "She won't remember," Tom said. He walked over to Anna and put a hand on her shoulder. It looked affectionate, but I knew that grip. It was controlling. "She blacked out, Anna. Just like always. She's a mess, a liability. We just have to wait for her to implode." "And Megan?" Anna whispered. Tom froze. "What about Megan? Did she say anything to you before?" "Drop it, Anna. Tom snapped. Megan was crazy. She was just like Rachel. Paranoid. Needy. My breath hitched. Megan was crazy. Just like Rachel. He knew her. He knew her well enough to judge her. Anna looked down at the baby. I'm scared, Tom. I feel like we're next. Nobody is going to hurt us, Tom said. I'm taking care of everything. He kissed her forehead. Then he turned and looked right at the French doors. I ducked down into the shadows of the shrubbery. My heart was pounding so hard, I thought he must be able to hear it through the glass. The door handle turned. Hello, Tom called out. I held my breath. I pressed myself into the dirt, smelling the damp earth and the lavender I had planted 3 years ago. Probably a fox, Tom muttered. He closed the door and locked it. I waited 5 minutes, then 10. I crawled back to the gate and ran. I ran all the way to the underpass. I sat on the cold concrete, gasping for air. Tom knew Megan. He called her crazy. He compared her to me. And Anna was scared. She asked, did she say anything to you before? Before what? Before she disappeared? Before she died? I pulled out my notebook. I wrote down everything I had heard. Tom knew Megan. Anna is scared. Tom is taking care of everything. It wasn't proof, but it was a pattern. Tom gravitates towards unstable women. He married me. He had an affair with Anna while married to me. Did he have an affair with Megan while married to Anna? And if Megan threatened to tell Anna or Scott, Tom had the most to lose. He had the perfect life, the house, the wife, the baby. He would do anything to protect that image. I needed to talk to Anna, alone. But how? She hated me. She was terrified of me. I needed leverage. I thought about the man in the reddish shirt, Kamal Abdick. If Abdick was innocent, if he was just a therapist, maybe he knew about Tom. Maybe Megan told him about the other man. I had to go back to Abdick. I had to apologize. I had to make him trust me. I took the first train home in the morning. I showered. I didn't drink. I needed to be sharp. I called Abdick's office again. This is Rachel Watson. I said, please don't hang up. I have information about Tom Watson. There was a pause. Then Abdick's voice. What kind of information? I think he knew Megan. I think he was involved with her. Meet me? Abdick said. Not at the office. The park. By the river. 1 hour. I went. Abdick was sitting on a bench, feeding ducks. He looked tired. Why are you telling me this? He asked. Because I want to know the truth, I said. And because I think you're innocent. I think I was wrong about the kiss. He looked at me. You weren't wrong, Rachel. We did kiss. Once. On Friday. I gasped. So you admit it? It was a mistake, he said quickly. She was vulnerable. I was fond of her. She told me she was unhappy. She told me her husband was controlling. She told me she felt trapped. Did she mention another man? Abdick hesitated. She mentioned a friend, someone she met at the gallery, someone who understood her art. She said he made her feel seen. Did she give a name? No, but she said he was married. She said he lived nearby. Married. Nearby. Tom. Did she say she was afraid of him? She said he was intense, possessive. She said she tried to break it off, but he wouldn't let her. Did she say she was pregnant? I asked. Abdick looked surprised. Pregnant? No. She told me she couldn't have children. That was part of her depression. Scott wanted a family. She couldn't give him one. I felt a chill. If Megan couldn't have children, then who was the pregnant woman I shouted at in the underpass? Or was I confusing Megan with Anna? Anna has a baby. Anna was pregnant last year. My memory was a minefield. Dr. Abdick, I said, Tom Watson lives at number 23. He's married. He has a baby. He fits the description. Abdick stood up. If Tom Watson hurt her, then he needs to be stopped. But we need proof. I'm going to find it, I said. I'm going to get into his house. I'm going to find his phone or his computer. That's dangerous, Rachel. I have nothing to lose, I said. I've already lost everything. Abdick looked at me with a mixture of pity and respect. Be careful. Men like that, they don't leave loose ends. I left him at the park. I had a plan. I knew Tom's schedule. He worked from home on Wednesdays, but he went to the gym at 6 p.m. Anna took the baby to her mother's on Wednesdays. The house would be empty for an hour. I still had my key. I never gave it back. I told Tom I lost it, but I kept it, a souvenir of the life I lost. Wednesday at 6:15 p.m., I watched Tom's car pull out of the driveway. I watched Anna leave 10 minutes later. I walked up to the front door. My hand shook as I put the key in the lock. It turned. I stepped inside. The house smelled different. It smelled of baby powder and Anna's expensive perfume. It didn't smell like my house anymore. I went straight to Tom's office. I opened his laptop. Password protected. Of course. I tried birthdays. Anna's. The baby's. Mine. Nothing. I looked around the desk. Papers. Bills. And then a gym bag. Tom's gym bag. Why wasn't it with him? He must have taken a different bag. I opened it. Inside were sweaty clothes, a towel, and a small red velvet box. Jewelry? I opened it. Inside were earrings, diamond studs. Not Anna's style. Anna liked hoops. I remembered Megan. In the photos, she wore diamond studs. Why did Tom have Megan's earrings in his gym bag? I heard a car door slam. My heart stopped. Tom was back. He forgot something. I grabbed the box. I shoved it in my pocket. I ran for the back door. Anna, did you forget the diaper bag? Tom's voice. From the hallway. I slipped out the French doors just as he walked into the kitchen. I ran down the garden path. I vaulted the gate. I didn't stop running until I was on the train. I sat in the toilet, panting, clutching the red box. Megan's earrings. Tom was the lover. Tom was the friend from the gallery. And now I had proof. But proof of an affair isn't proof of murder. I needed to find the body. If Tom killed her, where would he put her? The woods? The river? Or the construction site? There was a new development being built near the station, Whitney Heights. Tom had mentioned it once when we were married. He said it was an eyesore, but it was secluded, and there was a lot of disturbed earth. I got off the train at the next stop. I walked back along the tracks, staying in the shadows. I reached the construction site. It was fenced off, but there was a hole in the chain link. I crawled through. The ground was muddy. There were mounds of dirt everywhere. I used a flashlight on my phone. I walked toward the foundations of the new houses. I saw something, a piece of fabric sticking out of the mud, blue, like the dress I remembered. I knelt down. I started to dig with my hands. The mud was cold, wet. I pulled at the fabric. It was a scarf, a blue silk scarf. I dug deeper. I hit something hard. A shoe, a woman's shoe. I screamed. I couldn't help it. The sound ripped out my throat, echoing off the concrete pillars. I scrambled back, slipping in the mud. I dialed 999. Police? I gasped. I found her. I found Megan. The next few hours were a blur of flashing lights, sirens, and questions. I sat in the back of a police car, wrapped in a foil blanket, watching as a forensic team swarmed the construction site. They cordoned off the area. They brought in lights. They confirmed it. It was a body. It was a woman. Detective Gaskell came over to the car. He looked grim. "It's her," he said. "Megan Hipwool." I closed my eyes. Tears leaked out. I knew it. I knew she was there. How did you know, Rachel? Gaskell asked. His voice wasn't accusatory this time. It was curious. I remembered something. I lied from Saturday night. I saw a man carrying something near the site. I thought it was just construction materials. But then the earrings. I pulled the red velvet box out of my pocket. I found these in Tom Watson's gym bag. Gaskell took the box. He opened it. Tom Watson. He was having an affair with her. I said, he's a man in the reddish shirt. Or he knows who is. He lied to you. He lied to Anna. Gaskell looked at the earrings. We'll need to verify these belong to the victim. Check the photos, I said. She wore them all the time. Gaskell nodded. We're bringing Tom Watson in for questioning. And Anna, I asked, we'll talk to her too. They drove me to the station. I gave a statement. I told them about the earrings. I told them about seeing Tom in the underpass. I told them about Abdick confirming the affair with a married man. I left out the part about breaking into Tom's house. I said I found the gym bag outside. It was a weak lie, but Gaskell didn't press it. He had a body. He had a suspect. He didn't care about a little trespassing. They let me go at 3 a.m. I went back to my flat. I didn't drink. I stared at the ceiling. Tom was in custody. Megan was found. It was over, but it didn't feel over. Something was nagging at me. Why would Tom keep the earrings? Trophies? And why did he bury her so close to home? It was arrogant. It was reckless. It was exactly like Tom. I fell asleep around dawn. I dreamed of trains. I dreamed of Tom standing on the tracks, laughing as he 8-0 for a rush towards him. I woke up to my phone ringing. It was Scott Hipple. Rachel? His voice was hoarse. The police, they told me. They found her. I know, Scott. I'm so sorry. They arrested Tom Watson, he said. Your ex-husband. Yes. Why? He asked. Why him? Because he was sleeping with her. Scott. He was the other man. Silence. Then a sob. I knew it. I knew she was drifting away. But I thought we could fix it. He's a monster, Scott. He hurt me. He hurt Anna. And now he hurt Megan. I want to kill him, Scott whispered. Let the police handle it, I said. He's not going to get away with this. I hung up. I turned on the TV. The news was everywhere. Body found in Whitney. Local man arrested. They showed a picture of Tom. He looked handsome, respectable. The perfect suburban husband. And then they showed a picture of Anna. She looked terrified, clutching her baby. I felt a pang of sympathy for her. She was me 3 years ago, blinded by love, gaslighted into submission. I decided to go see her. I know it was crazy, but I needed to tell her. I needed to warn her. I took the train to Whitney. Again, I walked to number 23. There were reporters outside. I slipped through the back garden again. I knocked on the French doors. Anna appeared. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her eyes were swollen. She saw me. She opened the door. What do you want, Rachel? She hissed. Haven't you done enough? I came to help you, Anna. I said, I know what he's like. I know he lies. He didn't do it. Anna cried. He was with me all night. We were watching movies. He left, I said. He went out, didn't he? Anna hesitated. He went to the store for milk for 20 minutes. 20 minutes is enough time, I said. Enough time to meet her. Enough time to hit her. He wouldn't. He hit me, Anna. I said softly. He never hit me with a fist. He hit me with words. He hit me with silence. But once I found him burning things in the garden. Clothes. My clothes. He said I spilled wine on them, but they weren't stained. He just wanted to erase me. Anna stared at me. He burned things? Yes. I found Ash, Anna whispered, in the fireplace. Last Sunday. It smelled like plastic. Megan's phone, I said, or her ID. Anna backed away. Get out. I don't believe you. Check his car, Anna. I said, check the trunk. Look for the tire iron. That's usually what they use. Get out, she screamed. I left. I had planted the seed. Now I just had to wait. I went to the station. I sat on the bench. I watched the trains go by. I felt a strange sense of peace. I wasn't the crazy one. I wasn't the drunk. I was the witness. But then my phone buzzed. A voicemail from Tom. How did he call me? He was in custody. I listened to it. Rachel. His voice was calm. Chillingly calm. I know what you did. I know you planted the earrings. You're trying to frame me because I left you, but it won't work. I have proof, Rachel. I have proof of where you were Saturday night. I froze. Proof? I have a video, Tom said, from the baby monitor. It records the living room. You came in, Rachel, while we were sleeping. You stood over the baby. You were holding a knife. The blood drained from my face. A knife? You're sick, Rachel, Tom said. You killed Megan because you thought she was Anna. You thought you were killing my wife. And now you're trying to pin it on me. The message ended. I dropped the phone. A video? Me with a knife? It wasn't possible. But the blackouts, the lost time. Did I go into the house? Did I mistake Megan for Anna? No. I found the body. I led the police to it. But maybe I led them there because I put her there. Maybe my subconscious was trying to confess. I felt the panic rising. The urge to drink was overwhelming. I ran to the corner shop. I bought a bottle of vodka. I drank in the alley. The world started to spin. The edges blurred. Maybe Tom was right. Maybe I was the monster. I sat in the alley, crying, and then I saw it, a flash of memory. Real memory, not a dream. Saturday night. I was in the underpass. I saw Tom. He was getting into his car. Megan was in the passenger seat. She wasn't dead. She was alive. She was screaming, "Let me go. I'll tell her. I'll tell Anna." And Tom hit her. He hit her with a rock. She slumped forward. And then Tom saw me. He walked over to me. He grabbed my shoulders. "Rachel," he said, "you didn't see anything. You're drunk. You're hallucinating. Go home." He pushed me. I fell. I hit my head. That was the cut on my forehead. He gaslighted me right there. He planted the doubt before the memory even formed. He didn't kill her in the house. He killed her in the car. And he didn't bury her alone. He had help. Who helped him? I remembered the blue sedan. The one Mike saw at Kelly's house in the other story. Wait, no. This was Megan. There was no blue sedan here. But there was something else. Tom's car. The baby monitor video. He was bluffing. He didn't have a video. If he had a video of me with a knife, he would have given it to the police immediately. He wouldn't leave a voicemail threatening me. He was scared. He was trying to make me doubt myself again. He was trying to make me drink. And it worked. I looked at the empty vodka bottle. No, I whispered. Not this time. I stood up. I wiped my mouth. I wasn't going to let him win. I walked back to the police station. I was drunk, yes, but I was lucid. I need to speak to Detective Gaskell. I told the desk sergeant. He's busy. Tell him Tom Watson called me. Tell him he threatened me. I played the voicemail for Gaskell. Gaskell listened. He frowned. He used his one phone call to leave this. Gaskell asked, "Yes, he's desperate. He's lying about the video. Check the baby monitor. Check the SD card." We already seized all electronics from the house, Gaskell said. We're checking them now. And check his car, I said. The passenger seat. He hit her there. There will be blood, even if he cleaned it. Gaskell looked at me. You're drunk, Rachel. I know, I said, but I'm right. He sighed. We found blood in the trunk, Rachel, and on a tire iron. It matches Megan. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. So you have him? We have forensic evidence. But he's still denying it. He says you planted it. Of course he does. But Rachel, there's one thing that bothers me. What? Why were you in the underpass that night? I told you I was walking. But why did Tom stop to talk to you? If he had a dying woman in his car, why risk it? Because he thinks he owns me. I said, he thinks he can control my mind. And he was right. Until now. Gaskell nodded. Go home, Rachel. Get some sleep. We've got this. I left the station, but I didn't go home. I went to Tom's house. I knew Anna was alone. I knew she was scared. And I knew Tom had one last secret. The baby. Megan wasn't pregnant, but Anna was. And Tom didn't want the baby. I remembered something Anna told me years ago. Tom doesn't like noise. He doesn't like mess. Megan wasn't just a mistress. She was an escape, a fantasy. And when she became real, when she threatened his perfect life, he ended her, just like he tried to end me. I walked up to the house. The door was open. Strange. I walked in. Anna, I heard crying upstairs. I ran up. Anna was in the nursery. She was holding the baby, and standing over her was Tom. He was out on bail? No, he couldn't be. Not for murder. Tom. I gasped. He turned. He looked calm. He was holding a corkscrew. Hello, Rachel, he said. I was just telling Anna about how you framed me. How are you here? Lack of evidence, he smiled. The blood in the trunk? It was deer blood. From hunting. My lawyer is very good. He lied. The police said it matched Megan. He escaped. Or he was never arrested. Wait, Gaskell said they were bringing him in. Maybe they hadn't charged him yet. Maybe he talked his way out. You're lying, I said. They found her. They found the earrings. Earrings prove an affair, Rachel. Not murder. He stepped towards me. And now I have two problems to solve. He raised the corkscrew. Anna screamed. Run, Anna. I yelled. I lunged at Tom. He was strong. He backhanded me. I flew across the room, hitting the wall. He came to me again. I grabbed a lamp from the table. I smashed it over his head. He staggered. Anna was frozen. Help me? I screamed at her. Tom shook his head, blood trickling down his face. He looked at me with pure hatred. You drunk bitch. You ruined everything. He grabbed me by the throat. He squeezed. I couldn't breathe. Black spots danced in my eyes. I saw Anna move. She picked up the corkscrew. She walked up behind Tom. Anna! I wheezed. Tom didn't see her. He was focused on killing me. Anna raised the corkscrew, and she drove it into Tom's neck. He gasped. His grip loosened. He fell to his knees, clutching his throat. Blood spurted out. He looked at Anna. Shocked. Anna, he gurgled. Anna looked at him. Her face was cold. You lied to me, she whispered. About everything. She twisted the corkscrew. Tom fell forward. He twitched once. Then he was still. I sat up, gasping for air. I looked at Anna. She dropped the corkscrew. She picked up her baby. Are you okay? She asked me. I think so, I said. He tried to kill us, she said. Self-defense. Yes, I said. Self-defense. We sat there, two broken women, watching the man who broke us bleed out on the carpet. The siren started in the distance. What do we tell them? Anna asked. "The truth," I said. "This time we tell the truth." "He killed Megan," Anna said. "He confessed to me before you came in. He said she was going to tell me about the affair. He said he had to stop her." "I know," I said. "And he tried to kill you," Anna said. "Because you knew." "Yes." The police burst in. Gaskell led the way. He saw the body. He saw us. "It's over," I said. Gaskell nodded. He looked at Tom. "Yeah, it's over." Months later, I'm on the train. The 8:04. I'm sober. I've been sober for 6 months. I look out the window. We pass the houses. Number 23 is for sale. Anna moved away. She took the baby to her parents. We don't talk, but we exchange Christmas cards. We are survivors of the same war. Number 15 is sold. A new couple lives there. They have a cat. I don't imagine their lives anymore. I don't give them names. I don't project my happiness onto them. I just watch. I'm not the girl on the train anymore. I'm Rachel Watson. I have a job. I have a life. And I remember everything. The train stops at the signal. I look at the spot where Megan used to stand. I whisper, "Goodbye, Megan." The train starts moving. Clack, 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 clack. The rhythm is different now. It's not a lullaby. It's a heartbeat. My heartbeat. Strong, steady, alive. And that is the twisted reality of the girl on the train. A story that reminds us that memory is a fragile thing. But the truth is indestructible. Rachel Watson wasn't just a drunk voyeur. She was the only one who saw the monster behind the mask. She proved that sometimes the person everyone calls crazy is the only one who is sane. Tom Watson thought he could gaslight 2 women into silence. But he forgot one thing. When you push people to the edge, sometimes they learn to fly. Or, in this case, they learn to fight back. If that final scene with the corkscrew gave you chills, if seeing Anna finally turn on Tom made you cheer, then you are exactly where you belong. You are a moon whisperer. Do not scroll away. Look at that subscribe button. It's right there. Click it. Join us. We are building a community of people who look deeper, who listen harder, who aren't afraid of the dark. And that bell icon? Ring it. Because the next story I have for you involves a woman who wakes up every day with no memory, and the husband who tells her who she is might be lying. You do not want to miss Before I Go to Sleep. Hit the like button if you are Team Rachel. Hit the like button if you think Anna deserved better. Just hit it. Let the algorithm know we want more stories about gaslighting and revenge. I have a final question for you, a test of your observation skills. Tell me in the comments below. If you saw something suspicious from a train window, would you report it, or would you mind your own business? Be honest. I will be reading every single answer. I'm Friend, and remember, don't believe everything you see, especially from a moving train. Good night, and watch the gap.